And I think something that's important to note, you know, racism isn't only the problem of black people, it's all our problem. And homophobia isn't the problem of only gay people, it's all of our problem. Anti-Semitism only isn't an issue for the Jewish community, it is everyone's problem. And we know from history that Jews are the canary in the coal mine.
The expression, canary in a coal mine, is used as a warning. If a canary breathes poisonous gases, it gets sick and dies more quickly than a human would. Coal miners used to bring these birds into the mines with them. If the canaries died, the miners knew the air was not healthy. And that's English in a minute.
The canary in the coal mine has long been a metaphor for the persecution of a minority that subsequently spreads to the general populace.
Anti-Semitism may start with the Jews. It never ends with the Jews. It's a sign of rot and decay in democracy and in broader society.
Whenever a society becomes anti-Semitic, it's an indication about something wrong in their body politic.
Societies where anti-Semitism thrives are societies that are dead or dying.
It's often said that the Jews are the canaries in the mine. When Jews get uneasy, there's something very rotten in the state.
Anti-Semitism is usually the sign of a larger problem. It's the canary in the coal mine. It starts with the Jews, it doesn't end there. It's not a Jewish problem, it's a French problem, it's an American problem, it's everybody's problem.
It starts with the Jews and it spreads to everyone else.
Anti-Semitism is not a Jewish problem, this is a problem for the world. Anti-Semitism, we need to realize, is not just about the Jewish people, it's about the future of civilization.
When there is Jew hatred in America, it doesn't only affect the Jewish people. It constitutes a danger for all American citizens, because a world that has no place for Jews has no place for humanity. It begins with Jews. It never ends with Jews.
Hate that begins with Jews never end with Jews.
If we don't draw a red line in the sand when it comes to anti-Semitism, Muslims will be next, gays will be next, and everyone else who's deemed a minority will be next.
As a minority, our security, our strength, our well-being in America is interdependent with those of other minorities. This is a Jewish issue. It is very much a Jewish issue. We do not live in an island. We do not live in a vacuum. And we need to interact, to connect, to build relationships, and to strengthen the well-being of all of the people in America. It's good for America. Therefore, it's good for the Jews.
When there's anti-Semitism, when there are anti-Semitic attacks, that's not just an attack on Jews. It's really an attack on all communities that are marginalized. I see it as a very clear path forward that our future is bound in the future of others and the future of other people who are being targeted by white nationalism.
You have to be aware there are some right-wing movements that have to be stopped and to have to be eliminated. They have to disappear. We mustn't let them come to the top, because they are evil.
We know, as a Jewish community, our safety is dependent on the safety of all people.
In 2020, Bend the Arc Jewish Action is mobilizing Jews and allies across the country to remove white nationalists from office.
I'm Jewish. My family came from Poland. My father's whole family was wiped out by Hitler and his white nationalism. Too many people have fought over the years, too many people have died against racism to allow it to resurface and flourish in America. We will go to war against white nationalism and racism in every aspect of our lives.
Anti-Semitism is the world's most reliable early warning sign of a major threat to freedom, humanity, and the dignity of difference. It matters to all of us, which is why we must fight it together.
The fight against anti-Semitism is a fight for all of us. Canary in a coal mine. Anti-Semites must be confronted by the world and be told over and over, beginning here, that anti-Semitism matters to Jews, yes, but it must matter to every citizen in this world who values human rights.
I think smart people should study from the past, and history showed us that all the problems that maybe started with the Jews, like anti-Semitism, at the end of the day led to a catastrophe to the entire citizens, not only the Jews. Indeed, 6 million Jewish people died, but at the same time, another 59 million people, not Jews, also were killed at that time. So we see, at the end of the day, if we don't take care about anti-Semitism, it will be a problem for all of us.
Do you know how many Jews were killed during the Holocaust?
8,000?
6 million.
Really? I did not know that. That's scary.
Words are not enough. Children must be educated to know where the hatreds of Jews lead.
We need to love the Jewish people.
By putting our National Holocaust Memorial and Education Centre next to our Parliament, we make a solemn and eternal promise that Britain will never forget what happened in the Holocaust.
There can be no more powerful symbol of our commitment never to forget the Holocaust than that we should create, right at the heart of our democracy, a permanent memorial and a learning centre so that we understand what we failed to do in the 1930s and understand also that we should never ever allow evil to triumph over good.
The Holocaust is one of the most evil acts in history. It must never be forgotten. A memorial near to the House of Commons reminds us what happens when democracy fails. It's a lesson neither this generation nor the next should ever forget.
That's why I set up the Holocaust Commission in January 2014, and that's why I'm so delighted that they recommended this incredible national memorial at the heart of our democracy, next to our Parliament.
Seeing this through is a sacred national mission. In the face of despicable Holocaust denial, this memorial will stand to preserve the truth forever. And this education centre will ensure that every generation understands the responsibility that we all share to fight against hatred and prejudice in all its forms, wherever it is found.
But if we understand that ultimately, all excuses aside, what drives anti-Semitism is a rebellion against the national historic mission of the Jewish people to bring a certain vision of values into the world, then ultimately, the only solution to anti-Semitism will be the Jewish people working together as a people, being a light to nations, to finally bring those values, not just to the entire Jewish people, but to the entire world. And when the Jewish people accomplish that mission, then we'll get an end to anti-Semitism and peace not just for the Jewish people, but for the entire human race.